gabbing about home training, or I'm trying to think of a better way to put this. How about learning your home, training from your home?
It's homeowner operation.
I know, but
training.
It's boring. We gotta come up with a better name.
But it is what it is.
Okay, well, all you folks out there listening, we're gonna talk to you about how to run your home, how to get trained on it,
how to drive the house.
Oh, there you go, driving your home.
Driving your home. There you go.
We got a title, driving your home. Woohoo! So, we talked about all these reasons you need to drive your home, why it's such a big deal, and I will say with a green home, it's important in any home, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But with a green home,
especially,
and a green certified home, it's required. It's, basics parts are required, and it depends which version, how new the version of the certification program is you're using. But in some versions, it is required to have that training.
Well, it should be, too, because there's so much that goes into building a green home, a certified home. If the homeowner doesn't know how to use it, it's like giving them a brand new Ferrari, throwing them the keys and saying, good luck.
Yeah. Bye.
I mean, that's just not how it works. You have to know exactly how to work the house to get the biggest benefits out of it.
Well, that's true for anything.
You will not hear me arguing this
I know,
point.
but we do take it for granted with our homes that we're just going to pop in there and figure it out.
Right.
And what we're suggesting is don't just figure it out. There's tons of resources available.
What worked 40 years ago doesn't work today.
Well, I don't know that it even worked 40 years ago.
I think it did.
Maybe.
Something that was handy.
No, I mean, in our house, I had a house in, I bought my first house when I was in my 20s, and that was a while ago, several decades ago. And there was
I wasn't going to say anything.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm a senior citizen, so just a fun senior citizen. What can I say? Any rate.
Continue.
I had so many things in that home that I had to figure out on my own.
Right.
And it was an older home. It was a 1930s era home. And a lot of things have been updated, but some things were still creaky and tweaky from the 30s. So it's, I think, true for any home. And that training is a way for you to better understand it. It's just like training for anything else and better understanding what's going on in your body or an exercise program or your nutrition or your vehicle, all of that. Training allows us to do things in the way it was intended and get full effect and full benefit. And
the newer homes we're seeing, for the most part, a lot of them do have some manual, even if it's rudimentary.
Yeah, it's basic, but there's something.
But still, that's only a small percentage of the housing stock out there that sells.
Well, I tried with HomeNav to get realtors interested in it, and it just wasn't the time.
Right.
But, it might be now.
But if you're looking at a pre-existing house, what do you do?
Yeah.
Isn't that the next question? How do you ask for this?
It's easy to do.
How do you accumulate it?
So here's the kinds of things that you want to make sure that you're being trained on if you're the person living in the home, or the things that you're training on if you're the builder. The realtor really should be able to help do it, but somebody needs to train the person coming into that home or that building. Heating and cooling filters, number one. There's nothing you can do more important to maintain a good indoor air quality in your home or building.
And that's got to be one of the easiest.
Not really. Like
Changing a filter?
Our new house, they're in the ceiling.
Really?
Because they run their ductwork through the attic.
But you're in a goofy market.
I know, I'm in a goofy market. So that's one. The one you were talking about earlier, thermostat.
Mm-hmm.
Not only how to operate it, but how to program it.
How to program it, how to change the batteries.
Yeah.
The simple maintenance.
Or just cheat and get it, like a Nest or one of the other learning thermostats. But even so, you still have to figure out how to get it set up.
Yes.
So somebody needs to show you how to do that. Lighting controls. Okay, not such a big deal when we have the rocker switches. But this is right up your alley.
But now you have homes, and this is really going to be prevalent, I think, in the next 5 years. You have homes that have controlled lighting scenes. Whether you're controlling it off an app, it's something simple and it's all based in the cloud, or the house has a smart home processor somewhere in it, and everything is tied together. Everybody uses the term control.
Well, heck, you can buy a light bulb that you can control with an app now.
So there's a difference.
Yeah.
Control is just simple, turn it on, turn it off on your phone. Automation means that light bulb, that light switch talks to other types of devices.
And you can schedule it, right?
You can schedule it, you can create scenes, you can do the if-then statements.
Right.
If this happens, then that happens. But these are all things people need to learn how to use, because if you don't, then you're just going to walk up to it and turn it on, turn it off, and you're not going to gain any of the benefits for it.
So back to that article you found, now that there's enough things in our homes that we can retrofit or put in new that are app controlled, make sure if there's apps running that house that they're part of the training as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Because and wow, wouldn't it be really nice if you helped the new owner get the apps on their phone or on their iPad or their tablet or whatever?
Well, and typically that's what we do. So we have a builder here in St. Louis that does have a smart controller in every house, and they'll have a couple options that come with the house.
Yeah.
So the minute they move in, they set up their utilities. We're out there showing them how to program their phone, showing them how to turn things on, how to set things up, and teaching them the right way to use it. It's just part of the process.
So, if you keep going, fan controls in a similar vein to lights.
Absolutely.
And teach people about putting them in reverse for winter. Like we run ours in reverse because our air is delivered from the ceiling. Mm-hmm. So we need to run that fan backwards to push the air down the walls into the room. Otherwise it all stays at the top in the ceiling. So that's what running your fan backwards in the winter does. It pushes that hot air, and hot air rises anyway.
Yes, it does.
So it pushes that hot air back into the room. And we just run ours on the lowest speed so we don't feel the draft.
Okay,
it just
that's
moves
a good
the
idea.
air down.
It's a very good idea.
Anyway, so there's my tip of the day. But running those understanding how to put the fan in reverse, how to put it back and forward, how to adopt the speed, if there's a remote, if there's an app, because now we're seeing a lot of app-controlled fans too.
Yeah, there are a lot of app-controlled fans, but what we're finding is the ones that the builder provides, usually there's some type of a little issue.
Yeah.
They don't talk because the builder's never had to think about this yet.
As a system.
As a system.
And that's where you guys come in, but we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, that's another podcast.
Water heater. That's another one you want to be
one.
trained on. Not only how to access it, should you need to drain it, which you should do once a year. Most of us don't do it. How to control the settings, and if there's a vacation setting on it, how to operate that. And if it's not an electronic ignition or an electric heater, how to relight the pilot. But some basics like that.
Once again, a lot of hot water heaters, they're app controllable now.
Yeah.
They're tied to the
I don't
Wi-Fi.
have one yet, but I need to get in and turn my water down, my water heat, the temperature down, because it's too high. But it took us a while to figure that out.
Right.
So now that we've kind of figured it out, we can play with it.
Probably because you're guessing and nobody showed you how to.
Yeah. And they did they showed us the basics when we moved in. But man, I mean, you're getting so much in 2 hours.
Yeah, you get bombarded.
So the last thing that is required in the certification practices for training is recycling practices. So what recycling is available in the home, in the neighborhood, when recycling pickup is. So just a way to enforce, or not enforce, encourage.
Encourage.
I won't enforce today. But encourage people to recycle and for them to know what resources are around to help them do that.
Right.
So those are the required things. But if you think about it, what are some other things that would be really helpful to be trained on?
Well, any system that goes in that house, you really need to know. Now, like, we share similar clients, and we work on some of these very advanced high-performance homes. In a situation like that, we're teaching them on how to use all the electronics in the house.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got appliances nowadays that you can tie to the house remotely and make them communicate with other devices in the house. You have your audio video systems, your security systems. You have your, we like to call environmental control. That's your lights, your thermostats, your locks. Basically anything that goes in that house now, you almost need to be instructed on things outside of the basics. We
have more than basics now.
Absolutely.
But here's the deal too: is that like I had the opportunity to really spend some time with InSinkErator, who makes the leading maker of garbage disposers. And when we were at the Builders Show in January, well, they were showing us how to properly maintain your garbage disposer. Sorry, I have to get the word right. Duh. I'm like, oh, wow, I've been running a garbage disposer all my life, and they taught me new things. So there's just, even the mundane things, like they were teaching me the way to clean your garbage disposer is fill it full of ice and run it for a minute.
Oh, interesting.
And you can put like a slice of lemon in there to refresh it. But if you go to an InSinkErator site, they have all these tips for you. I'm like, I didn't know that. So even the mundane is something that we can help people operate it better so that it's a better living environment for them.
Think of refrigerators.
Oh my gosh,
All
it's
right?
changed so much.
GE and Whirlpool. I'm going to use these two examples because I know they're building them now with the software to integrate with Alexa.
Yeah.
All right? So now they can tell you when you're low on something, but you need to know how to operate it and how to set it up so it would work. And if somebody's not teaching you, then that's a feature that has no benefit to anybody because I don't know how to use it.
I know. So let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about how to get this training. And if you're watching the Facebook Live and you want to know how, contact us, and we'll fill you in because the podcast won't be out for a little while. We'll be right back.